Karis, WAYFOONG star for Douglas White, lining up on debut. You've had a bit to do with him in his recent trials. What's your opinion of him?
Yeah, he's doing everything right at home. All his trial was pretty good enough to go to racing, and I think Dougie thought the horse is ready now, and he's ready for a race. So we're looking forward for him to run.
In those last couple of trials, he looks like he's travelled quite strongly or keenly in those.
Yeah, he's a big, strong fella. He wants to get things going, and he's got a bit of speed. So he like I said, he's doing everything right. His trial was good. He's got a bit of speed, so I think he's doing the right thing at the right time.
Looked like he had a decent turn of foot in that recent trial as well. Once the gap opened up.
Yeah, his work is very focused. He's very sort of professional when he's into his work. So, like I said, so far he's doing everything right, and yeah.
You've had a bit to do with Karis Excellent, who's also in the same race. One's on debut, the other one's having start number 4. How would you sort of compare them head to head?
Yeah, I think Karis Excellent now got the draw, and he's got a bit more experience than the other horse. Of course, I was already confirmed on WAYFOONG's host, and so I had to stick with him. And it's of course it's gonna be interesting how my horse run, because I think he's pretty much a smart little horse, and looking forward for him to run. Yeah.
Must give you the confidence as well, the way the Douglas White team's firing up at the moment.
Yeah, Dougie is doing well. It's nice to see he's got a few of the winner pretty quick. You would always thought so, because he's a real horseman even when he was a jockey. So I'm pretty sure he's got a bright future in the training horses and being a trainer. So of course, with his young horses now winning like that, the future could only be bright for him.
Blake, take what you need, trying the 1200 for the second time, but the first time here at Teetan. What did you make of his run down the straight the other week?
Yes, I thought his run was very good. He commenced well on that occasion, and he was just, I feel he was beaten by basically the dynamic sort of second section of the race, where they really went a fast speed and they broke the field up, and my horse just struggled to keep in touch at that point. He actually sort of lost touch with the leading division, and the race got away with it from him at that point. But he rounded the race off very well and hit the line strongly. He got beat by a very progressive horse in Duke Y, and the way he hit the line, 1200, to me is only going to suit him better here tomorrow, and I think he's looks a leading contender in the race.
The pace looks fairly genuine in the race. Is it more possible you take that midfield position again with him?
Yes, I would suggest that he's probably going to lob a little bit closer in the run. I've drawn outside a horse like Forza Angel, which is probably going to possibly find the rail, and I'd be looking to come across with it. My horse has got fairly good tactical speed. And then you've got a horse like Baltic Success that's going to come across from out wide. So I would say that I'm not going to be as far back as I was over that 1,000 metres last start, but I'd be forward of midfield and looking to pounce on him late.
You've ridden him in most mornings over the last week or so in work. Happy with what he's produced?
I am, yes. He's training well. He's feeling equally as good as he was into his last run, and we're quietly confident that he's going to run a good race. And I think he's going as well as he is into this run.
Lyle, last Kingdom going round to the main race on the All Weather. No doubt he holds a pretty special place in your heart here at the moment.
Yes, for sure. Of course, last time I thought he went into the race with a chance, and he came back and he produced a great performance. So yeah, like you say, special to me. He was an important winner, and I'm hoping he can go and do the same. He's not necessarily a horse that backs up all too well, but it was a perfect race to go for. So we're going to take the chance and hopefully a repeat performance.
What was the key to getting him to settle? Because he seemed to settle really well last time out, and that hasn't necessarily happened with him in the past.
Look, I just rode him with the confidence to go forward. I was happy if I had to sit second, but he broke really well. He won the start and he got forward, and it just allowed me to bide my time to get him to come back to me instead of working to get to the front and trying to settle him thereafter. So Yeah, I think it was more just the smoothness of the run. He got to settle really well, and he picked it up 600 out, and he put it to bed there. So it was an impressive victory, and like I said, it's tough to back it up for him, but he is in good form at the moment.
He is facing a lot of those same horses he beat last start again. Do you look to possibly execute that same plan again of go to the front and let him settle?
I think it'll be the same mindset as last time, where plan A would be to get there, but I think there's a span in the works in the likes of Handsome Rebel, who's got a lot of speed, and he could easily go forward and lead in that sort of race. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. We'll break with the same intentions, and there's always plan B.
Paul Bander Brothers going around in the Class 2 race on Saturday. What did you make of his last run at Happy Valley?
It's a good honest effort, which is pretty typical of the horse. He might be a little bit better suited back on the bigger track, and he's come up with another good gate.
He seems to settle really well and puts himself into the race nicely.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of tactical speed, and he finishes strongly. So, but he's up in Class 2 now. It gets, as you know, it gets more difficult as they go along. But I think he'll acquit himself well here.
He was beaten by a nice horse last time out in Class 2 company, so you think he can handle this grade?
Yeah, I think particularly with given the weights position he is in the handicap, I think it'll be no problem.
Do you think he should get a similar passage from Gate 4 as he did last time out?
Yeah, for sure. He might even be a little bit closer, maybe one horse closer on Saturday. So hopefully he get a nice run.
What about his work leading into this? Happy with that?
Yeah, his work's been fine. He doesn't do a lot, and pretty athletic type of horse, and looks nice and bright. His appetite's good, so hopefully he'll run well.
We've just seen this morning one of your smart sprinters line up in a trial, Duke Y. How's he progressing towards his next assignment?
Yeah, well, he's going to step up and run 1,200 metres next week, and I think long term he could be 14, even 1,600 metre horse. But he's progressing quite well, and a little bit like Bander Brothers, he's in Class 2, a little bit unknown.
Has it surprised you how much he's come on and leaps and bounds, this horse?
Yes, yeah, to some degree. I thought he'd be a pretty solid, hard-hitting Class 3 horse, and he's just proved to be a little bit better than that. But how far he'll go, well, time will tell.